Music. Sometimes you don't realize how much a city holds you together until you almost fall apart inside it. There's something about walking through streets that know your footsteps, the quiet corners that have seen your tears, the late night roads that carried your doubts. Your city isn't just buildings and lights, it's memory. It's heartbreak, it's becoming, revealing your city, is revealing your city, is revealing your city, is revealing yourself. Because every scar you carry, there's a street that watched it happen. Every dream you whispered, there's a skyline that heard it first. And when you stand there, under those familiar skies, you begin to understand something powerful. You are not separate from where you started. Your city shaped your silence. It strengthened your voice. It broke you in places so you could rebuild stronger. And maybe today isn't about escaping it. Maybe today is about honoring it. Because when you reveal your city with honoring it, because when you reveal your city with honesty, the beauty, the chaos, the struggle, you're not just telling a story about a place. You're finally telling the truth about who you are becoming. It starts quietly in the corners of your mind where you almost forget the streets you grew up on, the alleys that knew your laughter before anyone else did. There's a weight in revealing your city, a vulnerability, because when you speak of it, you speak of yourself. Every crack in the pavement mirrors a crack in your soul. Every flicker of light at night becomes a memory of moments you thought were lost. But your city remembers. The buildings don't just stand there. Don't just stand there. They witness the rhythm of your life. They have seen your first steps, your first heartbreak, your first moments of courage, and your first acts of love. Big. And when you walk through those streets now, there's a strange feeling of both comfort and sorrow, like a melody that tugs at your chest. Your city holds you. It's silent, patient, and endlessly observant. You start by noticing the small things, the smell of the bakery on the corner, the faint hum of neon lights reflecting on wet pavement, the way the wind moves through trees that have been standing there for decades. These details are not just scenery, they are the pulse of the city, the breath that matches yours. And as you move through it, memories rise. You remember the first time you held someone's hand and walked down that street, hearts beating together in sync. You remember the nights of solitude, when only the streetlights accompanied your thoughts. The city is not separate from your life. It is inseparable from your life. It is inseparable from your story. To reveal your city is to reveal the moments that defined you. Love is everywhere here, even in the quiet, unnoticed places. A bench by the park carries the weight of whispered confessions. A bridge by the park carries the weight of whispered confessions. A bridge spanning a river remembers first kisses under the moonlight. Even the graffiti on the walls tells a story of passion, rebellion, and the yearning to be understood. And yet, there's also sorrow. The abandoned buildings speak of dreams that faltered, of promises that dissolved in the harsh realities of life. Walking past them, you feel the ache of what could have been, and you realize that your city holds not only your joy, but your grief. To reveal your city is to reveal your capacity to feel deeply and without apology. And when you tell this story, when you lay it bare for others to see, there's a kind of intimacy that cannot be manufactured. People listen not only to what you say, but to what the city whispers through you. The streets, the lights, the sounds, they all become extensions of your voice. It's like your city is speaking through your memories, your emotions, your love. There is a vulnerability in that, a risk that someone will see not just the surface, but the soul beneath it. But there is also courage, because to reveal your city is to stand in front of the world and say, "This is where I came from, and this is what made me who I am." It is not the naive love of someone who only sees beauty. It is not the naive love of someone who only sees beauty. It is love that understands imperfection, that sees the cracks in the sidewalks and the stains on walls, and still feels warmth. It is love that accepts that sometimes the city hurts you, that sometimes it challenges you, that sometimes it challenges you, that sometimes it leaves scars that never fully fade. But even with all that, there is a magnetism you cannot resist. You keep coming back again and again because the city is a reflection of your heart, flawed, persistent, and full of stories that deserve to be told. There are moments in the city when everything slows down. Perhaps it is the quiet of a morning before the traffic begins, the gentle sway of a tree, casting shadows over a street, casting shadows over a street that seems empty yet alive. Perhaps it is a rainy afternoon, the droplets creating ripples and puddles that mirror the sky, and in those moments, you feel an almost sacred connection to everything around you. You realize that the city, in all its chaos and beauty, is teaching you how to love, how to see details, how to embrace contradictions, how to hold grief and joy at the same time. And in learning this, you learn something about yourself. Yeah. Your city is a keeper of secrets. It knows the nights you cried, the nights you laughed until your sides hurt, the nights you locked alone trying to understand who you are. And in revealing it, you are revealing those secrets. But the act of sharing them does not diminish them. It honors them. It gives them a space in the world where they can breathe and be recognized. It is an act of love, not just for the city, but for yourself. It is saying, I am here, I have felt, I have lived, and I am unafraid to acknowledge the spa. Seshat me, that shaped me, and love in the city is not only found in people or places, but in moments. The fleeting glance between strangers on a crowded street, the kindness of someone holding a door, the laughter echoing from a distant cafe. All of these are threads in the tapestry of life. They remind you that your city is alive, vibrant, and capable of surprising you with joy. It teaches you that love can exist in the smallest of moments, and that emotion is not limited to grand gestures or dramatic declarations. Music. Sometimes the greatest love is quiet, persistent, and deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. Walking further, you find places that remind you of loss. Perhaps it is a corner where someone used to wait for you and never came. Perhaps it is a street where dreams were left unfinished. And yet, in this sorrow, there is also growth. Your city teaches you resilience. It shows you that life is a collection of moments, some beautiful, some painful, and that every step forward is shaped by the steps behind you. To reveal your city is to reveal your strength, the quiet fortitude that comes from navigating love, loss, and hope simultaneously. Your city is alive with stories that are not yours alone. Each person walking the streets carries their own narrative, their own loves and losses. And when you reveal your city, you connect with these stories. You could connect with these stories. You become part of a collective experience, a shared understanding of what it means to belong, to ache, to celebrate, to endure. Your emotions resonate with the energy around you, creating a dialogue between past and present, between yourself and the world. It is a reminder that while your story is unique, it is also part of something larger, something enduring. And as you reveal your city, you notice that it has shaped your identity in ways you might not have realized. The narrow alleys have taught you patience. The crowded streets have patience. The crowded streets have patience. You observation. The quiet parks have taught you reflection. The quiet parks have taught you reflection. Every street, every building, every light is a teacher, and in their lessons, you find wisdom, you find compassion, you find the ability to love deeply because the city has shown you what it means to live fully, with openness, with vulnerability, and with courage. Revealing your city is an act of courage because it strips away pretense and asks you to stand in front of your own life and acknowledge all that is past. The love, the mistakes, the grief, the joy. It is not always comfortable and it is not always easy, but in doing so, you create a space for authenticity. You show that your emotions are valid, that your connections are meaningful, and that your journey is worthy of being shared. In revealing your city, you reveal the truest version of yourself. And in that revelation, there is freedom. Your city is not just a backdrop, it is a participant in your life. It has shaped the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you feel. And when you reveal it, you honor the role it has played in your story. You acknowledge the nights when it held you close, the days when it challenged you, and the moments when it inspired you to be more than you thought you could be. Love and emotion are inseparable from this experience because your city is entwined with your heart, and to speak of it is to speak of the depths of your being. And in all this, there is hope. Hope that the city will continue to witness the unfolding of your life, that it will hold new stories of love and courage, that it will hold new stories of love and courage, that it will carry forward the energy of every person who has ever walked its streets. And you, in turn, carry the city with you, in your memories, in your heart, in the way you move through the world. Revealing your city is revealing a truth that is both personal and universal, that love, emotion, memory, and resilience are not just experiences we have individually, but currents that flow through the places we call home, connecting us to everything and everyone around us, shaping us, strengthening us, and reminding us of the beauty of being alive fully, vulnerably, and wholeheartedly. It begins with noticing the little details that most people overlook, because the city is always moving, always alive, and sometimes we forget to pause. The hum of distant traffic, the rhythm of footsteps on a familiar sidewalk, the flutter of leaves in a breeze that whispers secrets we almost can't hear. These are the fragments that hold our story. In a city, there is a constant reminder that life is in motion, that moments are fleeting, and that every heartbeat is connected to the pulse of the streets around us. And in this rhythm, we find pieces of ourselves we never realized were there. There is something about the way light falls over the buildings at dawn, golden and gentle, that makes the world feel both enormous and intimate at the same time. In that light, you see reflections of your own history, the times when you believed in something without knowing why, the days when you laughed harder than you thought possible, and the nights when sorrow held you so tightly you thought you might never be free. The city holds all of these memories without judgment. It simply exists alongside you, a companion to your joys, your struggles, and your quiet triumphs. And as you walk through it, you begin to recognize the patterns of your own heart reflected in the rhythm of the streets. Love in the city is subtle, often hidden in plain sight. It is in the hands that brush together on a crowded bus, in a smile exchanged at a crosswalk, in a laughter spilling from cafes into the alleys where no one is watching. The city teaches that love does not always arrive in grand gestures or declarations. Sometimes it is quiet, persistent, and found in fleeting moments. And these small pieces of love, when noticed and cherished, begin to form a mosaic of connections to people, to places, to yourself. Each fragment of laughter or shared glance is a reminder that you are alive, that your emotions are valid, and that even in a chaotic world, beauty and warmth exist. The weight of memories is something the city carries with you, whether you realize it or not. Every street corner, every park bench, every hidden alley is imbued with the echoes of your past. There are places where you first felt hope, and places where that hope was shattered. There are streets where you discovered courage, and sidewalks that witnessed quiet despair. To inhabit the city fully is to acknowledge these echoes, to recognize that every memory, whether joyous or painful, contributes to who you are. And in doing so, you begin to understand that revealing the city is revealing yourself, not just the present self, but all the layers of who you have been and who you are becoming. There is also an intimacy in the unnoticed spaces, the stairwell where you once paused to catch your breath, the quiet corner of a library where your thoughts roamed freely, the rooftop where the stars seemed close enough to touch. These are places that hold fragments of your soul. They are witnesses to your vulnerability, your wonder, your longing. And when you allow yourself to see them, to honor them, you are practicing a kind of love that is both inward and outward. You are acknowledging your own humanity, your capacity to feel deeply, and the city responds by offering more of itself in return. It is a dialogue, silent yet profound, between you and the world around you. Yet, the city is not always gentle. It has streets that test your patience, alleys that reveal your fears, and nights that magnify loneliness. It teaches you resilience in ways that are often subtle, almost invisible. You learn to navigate crowds that feel indifferent, to keep moving when the world seems cold, to find beauty in the shadows where light struggles to reach. In this navigation, you find pieces of yourself you might have overlooked. Courage, persistence, empathy. The city does not protect you from hardship, but it does give you the space to meet it, to endure it, and ultimately to rise above it. Emotion in the city is contagious. Yes, you feel the collective heartbeat of everyone around you, the pulse of lives intertwining in ways that are sometimes obvious, sometimes invisible. You hear laughter and sorrow, hope and despair, sometimes all in the same block. And in this mingling of experiences, you recognize that your story is both unique and part of a larger narrative. Your memories, your love, your growth are intertwined with the city's energy. Each interaction, each observation, each small act of presence contributes to a greater tapestry of life, one that is always in motion, always evolving. There are moments when the city surprises you when you stumble upon something unexpected, a mural that captures your current feeling perfectly, a musician playing a song that resonates with your soul, a stranger offering kindness when you least expect it, and it turns into music. In these moments, you are reminded that the city is alive with possibility, that even in its chaos, it can reflect hope and love back to you. It reminds you that attention and awareness are acts of courage, that noticing beauty is a form of gratitude, and noticing beauty is a form of gratitude, and that connection is possible even in the busiest, loudest, most crowded places. Each building, each street, each tree carries the weight of countless lives. And when you reveal your city, you are revealing your own narrative woven into this greater tapestry. So you are acknowledging that your experiences, your emotions, your loves and losses matter. And in doing so, you create a bridge between yourself and everyone else who has ever walked these streets. Your city becomes a shared space, not just physically, but emotionally. Your story resonates with the stories of others, creating a profound sense of belonging and understanding. In love and emotion, the city is transformative. It shows you that life is a collection of moments, some fleeting, some enduring, and that each one holds the potential to shape you. A smile from a stranger, the warmth of sunlight, on your face, the rhythm of your own footsteps against pavement. These moments remind you that beauty exists even in simplicity. And when you recognize them, when you give them attention, you begin to understand the depth of your own heart, the capacity for empathy, and the power of vulnerability. Memories of love in the city often come in fragments: the echo of laughter from a park, the scent of rain on concrete where you first felt hope, the way shadows danced in your room during a quiet night. All of these become imprinted on your soul. They remind you that emotion is not always dramatic. It can be quiet, steady, and persistent. And it is in these fragments that we find our true selves, the parts of us that are sensitive, compassionate, and deeply aware of the world around us. The city also teaches patience. It asks you to walk slowly sometimes, to notice the cracks and crevices, the imperfections that make it real. It asks you to embrace impermanence, to understand that nothing lasts forever, yet everything leaves an imprint. And in learning this, you learn to carry love with you, not as a possession, but as a presence, something that exists within moments, within connections, within yourself. There is a quiet power in revealing your city. It is a quiet power in revealing your city. It is a declaration that you have seen, felt, and lived through the spaces that shaped you. Music, it is an acknowledgement of your emotions, your memories, and the love you carry within. It is an act of courage to stand before others and say, "This I is where I came from. This is what has touched me, moved me, and made me who I am." And in this courage, there is healing. In this courage, there is healing. In this courage, there is connection. In this